and Marana mornings. Arizona sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
We have learned a lot about Kyler Murray in year 7. We have learned that 7 is not his lucky number. It was the number he wore when putting on a Michael Vick replica jersey while posing with his dogs earlier in the season, a tone-deaf move that required an apology, and it's the number of the backup quarterback who has stolen his thunder and maybe even his job. After a huge season-saving win on Monday Night Football, there is no way the Cardinals can take the reins from Jacoby Brissett now, not when he has dramatically elevated the offense and the wide receiver room in ways that Murray cannot. His signing has been a godsend for the organization, illuminating the leadership and the toughness that has been so badly missing at the position. And you can see this team responding and fighting for Brissett in ways that make you love football, in ways that make you feel hopeful all over again because they see Brissett fighting for them. The Cardinals can say what they want about how nothing's changed, but the people know. There were reports over the weekend on social media that Murray jerseys are now on the discount rack, and I received 2 emails this morning from fans wanting to know where they can buy Brissett's replica jersey. And in Arizona, it's time to give the team, the players, and the people what they want. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW, who make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
I thought he played well. Thought he operated. We had one protection issue. That's on me, us, coaches. We got to do a better job with that, with some protection. And then the one, sack, they made it a little adjustment with the play that we're in. It was a good job by Flew to make the adjustment there. So just got to keep him clean, and he shows that he can deliver the football.
That was Jonathan Gannon talking about how Jacoby Brissett played in his eyes. Excuse me.
Get all choked up there.
Numbers were
it was
good.
That kind of game.
Threw for over 260 yards, 2 touchdowns, ran for a touchdown. No turnovers for Jacoby Brissett. And look, I'm not going to be one to tell people what to do with their money, but and you might be riding the Jacoby Brissett high right now, but that's a lot of money to spend on the jersey of a backup quarterback, isn't it?
Is he a backup quarterback?
Right, he's the starter right now.
Okay.
I'm very curious because this is what happened last night post game. The Kyler Murray question popped up again. ESPN talked about it a lot. Kind of the mystery, this cloud of mystery around this quarterback situation right now. Jonathan Gannon, after the win and another solid, almost spectacular performance at times from Jacoby Brissett, was asked about the starting quarterback position in his press conference.
Will Kyler still be your starting quarterback when you return?
Yeah, nothing's changed on that. That's how I feel.
We've seen Brissett
done enough to earn more opportunities.
Yeah, I got nothing to add on that, guys.
So
listen. So clearly, there's this internal weirdness around Kyler Murray and Jacoby Brissett. It's clearly not going away. Clearly, because if that's what the head coach can muster up after that kind of performance on the road on Monday Night Football. And again, there's that phrase that Tim Ring, to his credit, first kind of stumbled upon a couple of weeks ago while you were gone, Vinny. The nothing's changed. What exactly does that mean? What does nothing has changed mean?
I think you know what I mean. You probably don't know what I mean, but maybe
I think you do know what you mean. Yeah, right. So, and I get the head coach is in a weird position because he spent 2+ years trying to do everything he could to align himself with Kyler Murray, to coax the best out of Kyler Murray.
Which is what he needed to do. But in life and in football teams, there come times for very, very difficult decisions.
Earlier you were saying that like you could rattle off a bunch of stats about why Jacoby Brissett is a better quarterback for this offense than Kyler Murray, but I think it goes even beyond that because if you watch every game, you just see it with your eyes. That the offense runs smoother.
You don't need the numbers. You know where you can really see it, Jarrett? And I think you're exactly right about this. You really see it on third down. In every one of these games Jacoby Brissett has played, third and long, it's not an obstacle. It's not a give-up down. And very frequently, he's completing them and converting them.
I would say the other way you see it is how he uses Trey McBride in the red zone.
Yeah.
Which we always complained about how Kyler didn't.
Yeah, that's it. Listen, I have spent years defending Kyler Murray. Okay? What I'm responding to now is what I'm seeing with my own eyes. And nobody, whatever anyone says, it's not going to change that because it's right in front of us. Again, you can recite them. 25.7 points per game with Jacoby Brissett, 18.8 with Kyler Murray. Third down conversions, 56% with Jacoby Brissett, 40% with Kyler Murray. I could go on and on and on with this stuff. It's the tail of the tape between two boxers, this would be a blowout.
Yeah.
But you don't need the numbers. You don't need the numbers.
But that's why, what happens, let's just eliminate what happens after this season. The Cardinals are tasked with something. And we just had a segment at 7:45 talking about, okay, are the playoffs still a possibility? It is the definition of an uphill climb, and it is steep. But they have to stack wins. To do this, they've got to get the most out of their quarterback position. I don't think this is a permanent thing. Jacoby Brissett, we've seen stories like this, examples like this in the NFL before. He's playing really good football. Normally, you regress to what you actually are. It doesn't matter what offense, what organization you're playing for. But until that happens, I think Jonathan Gannon needs to ride with what's working right now.
That's it. Yeah, that's that. Listen, I'm perfectly fine with that plan. If Jacoby Brissett puts together a couple of really bad games, I have never said Jacoby Brissett's the long-term answer ever. But what I have said is he's illuminated what the Cardinals need to look for in their next quarterback.
It is interesting to see
Perfectly said.
If they play this out with, we're going to give Kyler another week. He's not 100%. We want to make sure he's 100% when he comes back. And they sort of ride it out until Jacoby Brissett loses again or has that bad game, and that makes everyone's job much easier,
Look, a lot of people, and it's hard not to smell something fishy when you look at the details of this situation. When Kyler Murray was a game-time situation against Indianapolis 3 weeks ago, and he's still out after a bye week, okay, maybe there's something fishy. Maybe there's not. Maybe this injury is not reacting the way that anybody hoped it would. The Cardinals are afforded that luxury right now. You know what, Kyler? Get well. We're not going to press you back. And that has been consistent. When Kyler is healthy enough to play, he will play. But there's some wiggle room on the phrase healthy enough to play right now.
Absolutely.
And it should involve Jacoby Brissett getting the start against Seattle on Sunday.
And I think that's where the nothing has changed quote comes in. Nothing has changed. We need to get Kyler healthy.
Yes.
And that will continue to be the line until it's no longer the line.
Right. If he were to backstep just a little bit and say, Kyler's healthy, he said all that. But if he were to come out and say, Jacoby Brissett's playing good football, he gives us the best chance to win right now, is that a bad look for Jonathan Gannon?
No. I mean...
Unless
your job as a coach is to win football games.
Unless Kyler Murray's personality is such that you've got to walk on eggshells around him, that Jonathan Gannon is fearful of undoing all the relationship building he spent 2+ years doing. But come on now, you're in year 7 of your NFL career. How many millions of dollars have you banked?
A lot.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, and
it reminds me of that whole Matt Leinart, either ride or die with me or not. It's one or the other.
Jacoby Brissett was asked too if he feels like he has done enough to earn the starting spot.
I don't get into that stuff, man. I'm just trying to go out here, win games, be a good teammate, and do the best that I can when I get my opportunity. That's all I can ask for.
Yeah, Jacoby Brissett he's done exactly what the Cardinals asked him to do in this situation. When they signed him in the offseason, this is what you make those investments in a backup quarterback for these very situations. He's performed very well. I've been impressed. He's played better than I thought he was capable of playing.
Same.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.